All right, hello everyone. How are you?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Fine. So, what have we discussed in the previous session?
Heat energy,
Correct.
coolness,
Correct.
temperature.
Wonderful. Yes. We talked about these sensations, hotness and coldness, which are relative, right? These are relative sensations. And what is the reason behind these sensations?
Heat energy flows out
Wonderful.
from that
Very good.
coldness.
Correct. So, the reason is the flow of heat energy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
When heat energy flows out, we feel cold. When heat energy flows in or when heat energy enters our bodies, we feel hotter.
Yes.
Correct? And heat, we discussed about heat. What is heat? It is a form of energy which moves from a hotter body to a colder body, which flows from hotter body to a colder body. Right. What is temperature?
Degree of the
Right. Degree of hotness or coldness is called as temperature. Right? We have discussed these things in our previous session. All right. Today we are going to cover some interesting topics in this same chapter. Okay? So going forward in this chapter, you will be hearing this word, thermal contact. So we need to understand what it means. Okay, firstly, heat energy is also called as thermal energy. Okay, let's look at this term in particular, thermal contact. What does it mean? So when there is a system or surroundings, this system is nothing but a group of objects or group of bodies, right? And
group of objects
or group of bodies. Certain system. Okay. So the system or surroundings which will enable or which will facilitate the flow of heat energy. Okay. When that happens, we say the bodies are in thermal contact. Okay. So
is it contact?
yes. Right? See, when any system or surroundings enable the flow of heat energy, we say the objects in the system or surroundings are in thermal contact.
There is spelling. Okay.
Right? Thermal contact. When any system or surroundings enable the flow of heat energy, we say that the objects in the system or surroundings are in thermal contact. That means the heat energy moves or flows. There is no obstruction to it. So that is thermal contact. You will be hearing this word frequently while studying this chapter. All right? Any questions? So, what happens when two bodies are placed in thermal contact? Heat energy flows from hotter object to the colder object. Let me ask you, how long this transfer of energy takes place? How long this process of the transfer of heat energy from hotter body to the colder body continues?
Both objects gets the same temperature.
Right. So this can't go on forever, right? The flow of heat energy will take place from hotter object to the colder object until they reach the same degree of hotness or coldness.
Yes.
Correct? So energy, heat energy flows from hotter object to the colder object until both these bodies acquire same level or same degree of hotness or
Coldness.
coldness. What is degree of hotness or coldness
Temperature.
called as? Temperature. That means this transfer of heat energy takes place until both the bodies are at same temperature. Right? Okay. So what happens once both the bodies attain same temperature? The bodies neither release the heat energy nor receive the heat energy. Right? The body does not release the energy, at the same time it does not receive the heat energy as well. This state is called as thermal equilibrium.
Equilibrium.
This state is called as thermal equilibrium. So when we say a body has attained thermal equilibrium, that means the body is not releasing the heat energy and at the same time the body is not receiving the heat energy as well. Okay? Get it? So when I asked you how you feel about the weather today, some of you said you feel normal. You don't feel cold or you don't feel hot, right? What does that mean? That means you are in thermal equilibrium with your surroundings. That's why you are feeling neither cold nor hot. Heat energy is not flowing out of your body and heat energy at the same time is not entering your body, which means you are in the state of thermal equilibrium. Understand? Let's define this. Okay, get it? This is the definition of thermal equilibrium. Okay, so the state of thermal equilibrium denotes the body is neither releasing heat energy, it's neither giving out heat energy nor absorbing heat energy,
Absorbing.
nor taking in or receiving heat energy. So that is called as thermal equilibrium. Okay?
Okay.
Understand? Any questions? All right. Now let's look at a simple example or experiment to understand this concept better. Let's take a beaker full of hot water and a beaker with cold water. Now, using a mercury thermometer, let us measure the temperatures in both these beakers of water. Okay. So let's take a beaker full of hot water and cold water and a mercury thermometer. Okay. What happens when I insert this mercury thermometer in this beaker full of hot water? What happens? the reading of the mercury in this thermometer increases, right? The mercury expands and the reading goes up. What is happening there? Mercury in hot water. What happens here? The heat energy in the hot water, it flows and enters mercury in the thermometer. Okay, heat flows from the hot water to mercury. Okay, and this transfer of energy from hot water to mercury happens till they both attain a state of thermal equilibrium. That is, till they reach the same level of temperature, same degree of hotness or coldness, or same temperature. Once the mercury is in thermal equilibrium with the hot water, the expansion of the mercury stops. Correct? All right. Now let's remove this mercury thermometer from this beaker and let's insert it in the cold water beaker. What happens? What happens now? Cold water and mercury. The reading in the thermometer starts falling down. What is happening here? Mercury is hotter now and cold water is the colder object. So the heat energy flows from the mercury thermometer and enters the cold water. This is the flow of energy. Heat energy flows from mercury to cold water. This transfer of energy happens till both are at thermal equilibrium. When both are at the same temperature, this transfer stops. Correct? So, with the help of this experiment, we can understand, we can visualize clearly the flow of energy, the flow of heat energy. How the heat energy flows from this hot water into the mercury and the reading goes up. And after that, when we insert this in the cold water, how the heat energy flows from the mercury thermometer to the cold water until they attain equilibrium, thermal equilibrium. Get it? Get it? Alright. So now with this understanding, can we redefine heat energy once more? Heat is a form of energy in transit. In transit. Transit means in motion, which is being transferred or which is moving. Okay. So heat is a form of energy in transit. And how is this movement of heat energy? From body with higher temperature to
colder temperature.
correct, to body with lower temperature. And this transfer takes place due to the temperature difference in the bodies, and this process continues till both the bodies are acquire or attain
Same temperature.
wonderful thermal equilibrium. Okay, this flow happens due to temperature differences, and this flow happens until thermal equilibrium is attained between the bodies, until thermal equilibrium is attained.
Okay.
Get it? Any questions?
No.
Okay. Now let's say there is an object A. Okay, and there is a body C. Object A and object C. Okay, these are in thermal contact. Okay, these bodies are in thermal contact and they are in equilibrium. They are in thermal equilibrium. Okay, and there is one more body B. So B and C are also in thermal contact. Okay, B and C are also in thermal contact, and B and C have attained thermal equilibrium.
Then AB also.
Very good. With this information, what can we say about A and B? Objects or bodies A and B.
Same.
Yes, see, A and C are in thermal equilibrium, which means
Same
A and C are at same temperature. Correct?
Okay.
So, A and C are at same temperature because they are in thermal equilibrium. Now, B and C are also in thermal equilibrium. That means B and C are also at same temperature. Which means A and B are also at same temperature. Correct?
Okay.
Correct? A and B are also at same temperature. When two bodies are at same temperature, then we can say that they are in thermal equilibrium. So, A and B are in thermal equilibrium. Understand?
Oh, yes.
Any questions? Alright. Now, we said that heat is a form of energy. Correct? And we need to measure it. Don't we? Yes? In order to measure heat, we need units to specify this quantity. So, now we will discuss about the units of heat. So, you already know the units of energy we have discussed in the previous chapter. What is the unit of energy? Joules.
Joules.
Right? Yes. So heat is also a form of energy. So, the units of heat energy is joules. But we have two things here, CGS units and SI units. Right? Right? Let's look at what CGS units of heat are. In CGS system, we measure heat energy in calories. Okay? And in SI system, you know SI units of energy, joules. We measure heat energy in joules. Calories represented by CAL, joules represented by capital G. These are the units of heat energy. Okay? So, conversion, let's look at conversion. 1 calorie is equals to 4.186 joules. Okay, this is the conversion. 1 calorie is equals to 4.186 joules. Fine. Now, what is calorie? It is amount of heat, right? A unit of heat. We have a definition for this. 1 calorie So 1 calorie, this is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius is called as 1 calorie. Okay, is 1 calorie is this amount of heat or the quantity of heat energy required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius is calorie. So, if you have 1 gram of water with you and you want to increase the temperature of this 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius, then you have to supply heat energy to it, right? And what is the amount of heat energy that is needed to supply? 1 calorie is the amount of heat energy. Get it?
Yeah.
And you know the conversion, 1 calorie is equals to 4.186 joules. Joules. Any questions? So we have, now that we have defined the units of heat energy, what else we have?
Calories.
temperature.
Okay.
So temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness, correct? So we need units for this also, to measure temperature also. So what are the units of temperature?
Degrees.
Correct. Degrees Celsius.
Celsius.
So the SI units of temperature is Kelvin. Okay. Kelvins are the SI units of temperature. We denote this with K.
Okay.
Okay. And usually we use degrees Celsius also. Okay. We usually use Kelvin scale and Celsius scale. Right? So these are the units of temperature. So when we measure the temperature measured on the Kelvin scale is called as absolute temperature. Again, you'll be listening, hearing this word quite often when we are discussing this chapter. Okay, what is absolute temperature? Nothing but the temperature which is measured on the Kelvin scale is called as absolute temperature. Understand? So let's look at how we can convert the temperature measured on degrees Celsius scale and Kelvin scale. So 273 Kelvin is 0 degrees Celsius. Okay? So on Celsius scale, if I have 0 degrees, it is 273 on Kelvin. On Celsius scale, if it is 1 degree, then on Kelvin it is 274.
Okay.
If it is 2 degrees on Celsius scale, it is
175.
very good. So that means to convert this, we have to add Celsius to the Kelvins and we'll be getting the answer. Okay. So what is 25 degrees Celsius in Kelvin scale?
298.
Yes, 273 plus 25 is 298 on Kelvin scale. So this is the conversion.
Okay.
K is equals to 273 plus C. Any questions so far?
Yeah, no.
No. So what did we discuss in this session so far? We talked about thermal contact, right? And we talked about thermal equilibrium, and we have looked at the units of heat
Units.
energy and
Yes.
temperature, and we have learned how to convert
Conversion.
Celsius and Celsius scale to the Kelvin scale. Any questions?
No.
Let's come back in the next session to find out more. Thank you.